Isaac pulled back first, breath ragged, the stranger's eyes, storm gray and alive with mischief, locking onto his through the slits of a porcelain mask shaped like a raven's beak. "Don't forget me," the voice murmured, low and gravelly, laced with that laugh again. The one that started in the belly and bubbled up like champagne. Then they vanished into the swirl of costumed bodies, leaving Isaac with nothing but the ghost of a kiss and the echo of joy he hadn't felt in years. The warehouse in Fremont pulsed with the kind of chaotic energy that only a Seattle Halloween could summon, neon skeletons dangling from exposed beams, fog machines choking the air with artificial ghosts, and a DJ spinning tracks that blurred the line between indie rock anthems and throbbing house beats. Isaac leaned against a graffiti-covered pillar, nursing a plastic cup of something amber and forgettable, his witch's hat askew on his head. He hadn't wanted to come. Not really. His roommate, Theo, had dragged him out with promises of networking for Isaac's freelance graphic design gigs. But Theo was already lost in a corner, flirting shamelessly with a group dressed as the cast of some forgotten 90s sitcom. At 28, Isaac had grown accustomed to the quiet ache of evenings alone in his Capitol Hill apartment, sketching logos for craft breweries or scrolling through Grindr profiles that never quite clicked. Seattle suited him that way, its perpetual drizzle mirroring the soft melancholy he carried like an old flannel shirt. But tonight, the kiss lingered on his lips, a spark in the damp autumn night that refused to flicker out. Who was that guy? The mask had hidden everything but those eyes, sharp and unguarded, and the laugh that had vibrated against Isaac's chest like a shared heartbeat. He scanned the room again, weaving through clusters of vampires and sexy nurses, the air thick with the scent of pumpkin ale and wet wool coats. A guy in a fedora bumped into him, spilling beer on Isaac's boots. "Sorry, man," the stranger slurred, but Isaac barely registered it. His mind replayed the moment. The way the caped figure had grabbed his hand first, pulling him into a shadowed alcove behind stacks of forgotten crates. No words at first, just the press of bodies in the dim red light, the mask cool against Isaac's cheek as their mouths met. It wasn't frantic or sloppy like so many hookups. It was deliberate, exploratory, like the stranger was mapping the contours of Isaac's soul. Isaac's phone buzzed in his pocket. A text from Theo. "Where are you? Found a hot lumberjack. Save me?" He smiled faintly, typing back a thumbs-up emoji before slipping the device away. Theo, with his boundless optimism and rainbow flag tattoos, was the reason Isaac hadn't fully retreated into himself after the breakup with Marcus 2 years ago. Marcus, the architect with the perfect smile and the wandering eyes, who had promised forever in a Queen and Victorian before ghosting him for a straight passing in turn. It had left Isaac wary, his heart a locked sketchbook no one got to flip through. But this felt different. He pushed off the pillar, determined to find the raven-masked man before the night dissolved into regrets. The crowd parted slightly near the makeshift bar, and there, leaning against a barrel of fog, was a flash of crimson cape. Isaac's pulse quickened. He approached, dodging a conga line of zombie bridesmaids, his witch's broom clutched like a talisman. "Hey!" he said, voice barely audible over the music. The figure turned, mask still in place, but the eyes. No, wrong shade. Brown, not gray. The laugh that followed was forced, polite. "You looking for someone?" the man asked, tilting his head. Isaac deflated, forcing a grin. "Nah, just thought you were a friend." He ordered another drink to cover the awkwardness. The bartender, a pierced elf with green hair, sliding it over with a wink. As the night wore on, Isaac drifted from conversation to conversation, each masked face a potential match that fizzled. A cowboy with a drawl too thick for Seattle, a ghost in bedsheets who talked endlessly about crypto. None had that laugh, that effortless pull. By midnight, the party's edge had softened into a languid haze. Couples swayed on the dance floor, hands intertwined under the strobe lights. Isaac found himself outside on a loading dock, the cool mist of rain kissing his face. He lit a cigarette, the habit he swore he'd quit, and exhaled into the night, watching headlights streak by on Aurora Avenue. The city hummed below, all fairy horns and distant sirens, a reminder that Seattle was vast and unforgiving, full of strangers who brushed past without a second glance. "Why'd you come out tonight?" Theo's voice startled him, his roommate appearing like a disheveled prince, crown of leaves crooked. Theo flopped down beside him, stealing a drag from the cigarette. "You look like you saw a ghost, or kissed one." Isaac chuckled, low and bitter. "Something like that." He recounted the story in fragments. The alcove, the mask, the way the stranger's fingers had tangled in his hair, gentle but insistent. Theo listened, eyes widening, then punched his arm lightly. "Dude, that's straight out of a rom-com. You gotta find him. Post on Reddit or something. Raven guy from Fremont Warehouse. Call me." Isaac shook his head, stamping out the smoke. "It's probably nothing, just a moment." But even as he said it, doubt crept in. Moments like that didn't just evaporate. They burrowed, demanding to be chased. Back inside, the DJ announced last call, and the crowd thinned to stragglers. Isaac lingered by the exit, scanning one last time. No crimson cape, no laugh slicing through the din. He stepped into the downpour, pulling his hood up, the witch's hat soggy in his hand. The walk home to Capitol Hill was a blur of puddles and neon signs. His mind replaying the kiss in slow motion. Those eyes. Had they held promise, or just the thrill of the anonymous? By the time he unlocked his apartment door, the clock read 2:17 a.m. The place was a cozy mess. Sketchpads strewn across the coffee table, a half-dead fiddle leaf fig by the window, posters of Elliott Bay sunsets peeling at the edges. Isaac stripped off his wet clothes, collapsing onto the bed in boxers, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Sleep came fitfully, haunted by gray eyes and a laugh that echoed like rain on tin. Morning broke gray and relentless, the kind of Seattle October day that begged for coffee and denial. Isaac brewed a pot strong enough to wake the dead, scrolling through his phone while Theo snored from the couch. Social media was a graveyard of party pics. Friends in blood-stained gowns, group shots with devil horns. He searched hashtags, Seattle Halloween, Fremont Party, but nothing matched the Raven mask. Work called, a deadline for a logo redesign for a Ballard microbrewery. Isaac sat up at his drafting table, pencils scratching across paper, but his lines veered off, sketching instead the curve of a masked jaw, the sweep of a cape. By noon, frustration won. He texted Theo. "Lunch? Need to vent." They met at a greasy spoon on Pike Street, vinyl booths cracked and smelling of hash browns. Theo, ever the romantic, leaned in over his eggs. "So, spill. What's the plan? Operation Find Your Mystery Man." Isaac poked at his toast. "There is no plan. Stupid. One kiss doesn't mean shit." Theo rolled his eyes. "Says the guy who once drove to Tacoma for a guy who looked like Ryan Gosling. Come on, Isaac. Live a little. Hit up the warehouse's Insta. Maybe they have security cams or guest lists." It was a long shot, but desperation made fools of them all. That afternoon, Isaac emailed the event organizer, a vague description attached. Midnight-ish, guy in raven mask and red cape, about 6 feet, athletic build. No reply by evening, but hope was a stubborn weed. Days blurred into a routine laced with obsession. Mornings at the drafting table, afternoons jogging along the Burke-Gilman Trail, evenings scouring lost and found posts on Craigslist. Seattle's LGBTQ scene was vibrant, bars like the Strangers Club in Belltown buzzing with possibilities, but Isaac's heart was snagged on that night. He turned down dates, polite declines to apps flashing notifications. "Not in the mood," he'd say, but the truth was heavier. He was waiting for a laugh he couldn't name. One crisp Tuesday, as leaves turned the parks to fire, Isaac wandered into Elliott Bay Book Company, seeking distraction in the fiction aisles. He pulled a worn copy of Call Me by Your Name, fingers tracing the spine, when a voice from behind made him freeze. "That's a good one. Hits different in fall." He turned, heart slamming. Not the stranger, a barista type with a man bun and easy smile, but the laugh that followed, light and teasing, twisted the knife. Isaac forced a nod, buying the book and fleeing to the cafe, where he nursed a latte and sketched raven wings until his hands cramped. That night, alone with a pizza and a true crime podcast, the email pinged. Hey Isaac, checked the logs. No luck on your guy, but here's a pic from the night. Ring any bells? Attached was a blurry crowd shot, masks everywhere. He zoomed in, breath catching on a flash of crimson near the edge. Too grainy to confirm, but enough to reignite the chase. November crept in, All Saints' Day mocking the sinner in him. Isaac's sketches piled up, his freelance work slipping. Theo staged an intervention over takeout Thai. You're spiraling, man. It's been a week. Let it go or dive in. Post flyers or something. Flyers. Ridiculous, but Seattle thrived on quirky. The next day, Isaac designed a simple one. Seeking Raven from Halloween, your laugh haunts me. Coffee on me. Text 5550192. He printed stacks at Kinko's, pinning them to telephone poles in Fremont, taping them to coffee shop bulletin boards. Whispers followed, friends texting you okay. But he pressed on, the act to bomb to the void. Then, on a rainy Thursday, his phone lit up with an unknown number. Is this the witch looking for his raven? That laugh you mentioned. Think I might know it. Isaac's hands shook as he typed back. Maybe. Tell me something only he would know. The reply came swift. Spiced rum breath and you taste like adventure. His world tilted. Meet me. Tomorrow. 7 p.m. Zeitgeist coffee. The wait was agony, hours stretching like taffy. Isaac paced his apartment, second-guessing every choice, the shirt, the words. What if it was a prank? What if those eyes didn't spark the same? But as the clock struck 7, pushing open the cafe door to the scent of fresh grounds and steamed milk, there he was. No mask, just tousled dark hair, a jaw dusted with stubble, and storm-gray eyes crinkling with that laugh. Isaac, he said, standing, voice matching the memory. I'm Jude. Jude slid into the booth across from Isaac, his flannel shirt rolled to the elbows, revealing forearms etched with faint tattoos, vines twisting into what looked like coordinates. Up close, without the mask's distortion, he was striking. Mid-20s, olive skin warmed by the cafe's amber lamps, a crooked smile that dimpled one cheek. Seattle's evening crowd murmured around them. Laptop warriors typing furiously, a couple arguing softly over scones. But Isaac heard nothing but the hum of possibility. You really put up flyers, Jude said, his laugh bubbling low, that signature rumble starting deep. I saw one on a pole outside the troll sculpture. Thought it was a joke until I read the laugh part. Isaac's cheeks heated, but he met those eyes, gray as Puget Sound fog, flecked with silver. Desperate times. You vanished pretty quick. Jude's gaze dropped to his coffee cup, fingers tracing the rim. Habit. Parties like that. They're escapes. I'm not out, not fully. Work in construction up in Shoreline. Mostly straight dudes swinging hammers. Masks make it easy to breathe. The confession hung between them, raw and unpolished. Isaac nodded, understanding threading through him like a familiar ache. He'd come out at 20, in a liberal arts college dorm where rainbow flags flew from every window. But the world beyond wasn't always kind. Marcus had been his shield, then his sword. I get it. Took me years to even say it aloud to my folks back in Spokane. Jude's eyes lifted, surprise softening them. Spokane? Small world. I'm from Everett. Grew up fishing the Snohomish River with my dad. He still thinks I'm finding myself with these long hours. They ordered refills, the conversation unfurling like a well-worn map. Jude talked about framing houses on the waterfront, the satisfaction of a beam locking into place, the frustration of blueprints that lied. Isaac shared sketches from his phone, whimsical logos for vegan food trucks, moody album covers for local bands. Laughter came easy, that sound pulling Isaac under like a riptide. By closing time, the cafe staff stacking chairs pointedly, they spilled onto the sidewalk, rain pattering soft on awnings. Walk with me, Jude asked, hands shoved in pockets, breath visible in the chill. Isaac agreed, their shoulders brushing as they wandered toward California Anderson Park. Leaves crunched underfoot, jack-o'-lanterns long extinguished but their carved grins lingering in memory. Jude's stories wove through the night, childhood pranks with brothers who ribbed him mercilessly, a high school crush on the swim team captain that ended in a punch from the guy's jealous best friend. Isaac listened, sharing fragments of his own. The divorce that split his parents when he was 12, how drawing became his anchor, Marcus's betrayal still a bruise he poked at in quiet moments. At the park's edge, under a canopy of bare maples, Jude stopped, turning to face him. That kiss, it wasn't just the mask. You felt real. In a sea of pretend. Isaac's throat tightened. You too. Their mouths met again. Slower this time. No fog or bass to hide behind. Jude's hand cupped his neck, thumb stroking the pulse there, and Isaac melted into it, the world narrowing to the warmth of his body against the autumn cold. They parted breathless, foreheads touching. My place is close, Isaac murmured, half question, half prayer. Jude hesitated, then nodded. Lead the way. The apartment felt smaller with Jude in it, his presence filling the corners like sunlight after storm. Theo was out, blessedly, and Isaac flicked on a lamp, the soft glow catching the sketches on the walls. Jude wandered, fingers trailing book spines, pausing at a photo of Isaac and Theo at Pride, rainbows painted on their faces. Cute, he said, but his voice held a shadow. They talked more, cross-legged on the rug with beers from the fridge, until words gave way to touches, fingers lacing, knees bumping. When they finally tumbled into bed, it was tentative at first, explorations laced with questions. Jude's body was solid, marked by the labor of sights. A scar across his ribs from a fallen scaffold, freckles dusting his shoulders like stars. Isaac traced them, learning the map of him, while Jude's laugh vibrated against his skin, turning gasps to grins. Afterward, tangled in sheets, Jude propped on an elbow, watching Isaac with those eyes. This scares me a little. Me too, Isaac admitted, vulnerability cracking his voice, but good scared. Dawn crept in, gray light filtering through blinds. Jude dressed quietly, kissing Isaac's temple before slipping out for an early shift. Text me? He whispered. All day, Isaac floated, lines flowing freer on his designs, coffee tasting sharper. Text pinged. Missed that laugh already. Jude's reply ditto. Lunch tomorrow? The weeks that followed were a montage of stolen moments. Seattle's rhythm their backdrop. Quick coffees at Vivace before Jude's drives north. Evenings at Isaac's sketching while Jude sprawled on the couch, feet in his lap, recounting sight drama. They hiked Discovery Park one foggy Saturday, hands swinging loose until Jude pulled him behind a driftwood log for a kiss that tasted of salt air. Theo met Jude over beers at the Pine Box, teasing relentlessly but approving with a wink. He cleans up nice, but cracks spiderwebbed early. Jude's phone would buzz during dinners, texts from crewmates, invites to straight bars Isaac politely declined. Just work stuff, Jude would say, but his jaw tightened. One night, after a showing of Moonlight at the SIFF cinema, they walked Broadway in silence, the film's ache mirroring their own unspoken fears. You're pulling back, Isaac said finally, under the neon buzz of a falafel joint. Jude stopped, rain beating on his lashes. It's not you. My brother's engagement party next month. In Everett. Family expects. You know. Isaac's stomach twisted. Bring me as a friend? Jude's laugh was hollow. They'd see right through it. The argument simmered low, ending in makeup sex that left them both raw. But the seed was planted, doubt watering it in quiet hours. Isaac threw himself into work, landing a contract for a queer-owned apparel line, designs blooming with color he hadn't touched since Marcus. Jude dove deeper into overtime, framing a high-rise in South Lake Union, his absences stretching. Thanksgiving loomed, a week away, and Isaac invited Jude home with him to Spokane, neutral ground, his mom's pumpkin pie as bait. She makes killer gravy, he joked over pho at a Capitol Hill spot. Jude stirred his broth, eyes distant. Can't. Dad's hosting. Turkey and football, the works. Isaac pressed gently. Skip it. Come with me. The silence stretched, broken only by clinking spoons. I can't just append that. Not yet. The yet was a lifeline, thin but there. They parted with a hug too tight, Isaac watching Jude's truck fade into traffic, taillights blurring in mist. Alone, Isaac called Theo, voice cracking over the line. Am I pushing too hard? Theo's sigh was paternal. Love's a hammer, man. Sometimes it builds, sometimes it breaks. Give him space. But space bred ghosts. Isaac dreamed of the warehouse, the mask slipping to reveal not Jude, but Marcus's face, laughing cruelly. He woke sweating, Jude's side of the bed empty even in memory. The holiday arrived, Isaac on a Greyhound eastbound, window seat to the Cascades' white peaks. Spoken greeted him with crisp air and his mom's bear hug, her kitchen a chaos of yams and yeast rolls. His sister Lena ribbed him about that artist life, but her eyes held the old worry. Post-divorce, she'd seen him hollow. Dating anyone? She asked over pie, kids tumbling at their feet. Isaac hesitated, fork midway. Sort of complicated. She squeezed his hand. Uncomplicated. You deserve simple joy. Back in Seattle by Sunday, texts from Jude were sparse. Missed you at the game. Turkey coma. No mention of the invite. Isaac replied lightly, but the ache settled deeper. December dusted the city in rare snow, holiday lights twinkling defiant against the gray. They met for a tree lighting at Pike Place, Jude's arm around Isaac's waist under the glow of ornaments. Sorry about Thanksgiving, he murmured, breath warm on Isaac's ear. Next year. Isaac leaned in, believing it. They exchanged gifts early. Isaac a leather-bound sketchbook etched with a raven, Jude a pendant of carved jade, cool against Isaac's chest. New Year's Eve found them on a rooftop bar in Belltown. Champagne flutes clinking as fireworks burst over the sound. To us? Jude toasted, eyes locking with that intensity. The kiss that followed was a vow, or so Isaac thought. But January brought ice storms and isolation. Jude's crew hit a snag. A permit delay on the high-rise, tensions flaring. He came home late, smelling of sawdust and stress, collapsing without words. Isaac cooked, pasta with basil from the windowsill, but plates cooled untouched. One blizzard night, snow blanketing the streets, Jude arrived with a six-pack and shadows under his eyes. Fought with my dad today. He cornered me about settling down. Asked if I was seeing someone. I lied. Said no. Isaac set down his beer, heart thudding. Why? Jude's laugh was bitter. No joy in it. Fear. He's old school, church every Sunday. What if he disowns me? The room chilled, words unsaid piling like drifts. Isaac reached for him, but Jude flinched. I need time, Isaac, to figure this out. Time. The word echoed Marcus's excuses. How much? Jude's eyes pleaded. Don't make me choose. He left before dawn, truck chains rattling on ice. Isaac lay awake, pendant heavy on his skin, the laugh now a memory tainted. Weeks limped by, texts turning curt. Busy week. Rain check on dinner. Isaac threw himself into the apparel project. Deadlines a mercy. Theo noticed, dragging him to drag bingo at Numos. You're fading, babe. Call him out. But pride held Isaac back, sketches turning dark. Ravens in cages, eyes shadowed. Then Valentine's approached, a cruel joke. A card arrived, unsigned but Jude's scrawl. Thinking of you. Coffee? Hope flared. Fragile. They met at the same cafe, awkward hellos thawing into talk. Jude looked worn, stubble thicker, but his hand found Isaac's across the table. I've been an ass. Therapy started last week. Unpacking the closet crap. Isaac's relief was a flood. I'm in. Whatever pace. Spring hinted early, cherry blossoms unfurling along the waterfront. They rebuilt slow. Picnics in Gasworks Park, Jude's head in Isaac's lap as Ferry's horn distant. The laugh returned, tentative then full, pulling Isaac back. But shadows lingered. Jude's brother called one evening, voice booming through the speaker. Party next weekend. Bro, bring a date. Make Mom happy. Jude froze, phone limp. Isaac, I want you there. As you. The invitation trembled. A bridge over chasm. Isaac nodded, fear and love twisting. Okay. The drive to Everett was tense, Jude's knuckles white on the wheel. The house was suburban sprawl. Manicured lawn, American flag limp in breeze. Family swarmed. Aunts with casseroles, cousins chasing kids. Jude's parents greeted with hugs, his mom appraising Isaac's ink-stained fingers. Artist, huh? Jude never mentioned. Dinner was a minefield, football banter, wedding toasts. Under the table, Jude's knee pressed Isaac's anchor. Then his dad raised a glass. To family, and finding the right one. Jude's hand shook on his fork. The room hushed as he stood, voice steady. Speaking of, this is Isaac. My boyfriend. Silence crashed, then murmurs. His mom's smile faltered. Dad's brow furrowed. Boyfriend. Jude's laugh cracked. Real and raw. Yeah. Love him. Chaos erupted. Questions. Tears. Uncle's awkward clap. They fled early. Jude's truck speeding back. Tears streaking his face. I'm sorry. It exploded. Isaac pulled him over at a viewpoint. City lights below. You did it. That's everything. Their kiss was fierce, reclaiming. Summer bloomed. Pride a triumph. Jude marching arm in arm. Rainbow face paint smudged. Life settled. Shared lease in a queen and walk-up. Jude's tools cluttering the hall. Isaac's sketches on fridge. But autumn circled back, Halloween a year later. The same warehouse pulsed, invites in hand. Masks optional, they agreed. Inside, crimson cape on Jude, witch's hat for Isaac. They danced, laughed, the circle complete. Or so it seemed. The second Halloween dawned crisp. Seattle's skies a watercolor wash of blue and gold. Leaves carpeting the sidewalks like confetti from last year's storm. Isaac woke to Jude's arms slung heavy across his waist. The new apartment's bay window framing the Space Needle's silhouette. A year had reshaped them. Jude's coming out rippling through family ties. Mending some, fraying others. Isaac's designs gaining traction. A gallery show in Pioneer Square on the horizon. Yet, beneath the steadiness, Isaac sensed an undercurrent, like the tide pulling unseen. They dressed for the warehouse redux, Jude in the crimson cape now tailored sharper. Isaac's which ensemble upgraded with a velvet cloak Theo had sewn. Round two, Jude grinned, spinning Isaac in the kitchen. The laugh full-throated, chasing away morning doubts. The party thrummed familiar. Fog thicker, bass deeper, but faces blurred into a kaleidoscope of new ghosts. They stuck close, hands linked through the crush, stealing kisses in alcoves that echoed their first. Remember, Isaac whispered, nipping Jude's ear. Jude's eyes sparkled. How could I forget? You were the spell I didn't know I needed. Midnight brought a lull, the DJ yielding to acoustic covers. Jude vanished for drinks, leaving Isaac by the bar, scanning idly. That's when he saw him. A figure in shadowed denim, broad shoulders hunched over a phone, face half-lit by screen glow. Something tugged, the tilt of head, the way fingers drummed impatient. Jude returned, pressing a cup into Isaac's hand. Who's that? Isaac nodded toward the stranger. Jude followed his gaze, stiffening. No one. Old crew buddy. But the lie hummed false. Later, as they danced slow in a pocket of quiet, Isaac spotted Jude slipping away again, toward that corner. Curiosity pricked. He trailed, weaving through velvet-clad witches and LED-lit zombies. In the dim hall beyond the main floor, voices low. Doc can't keep dodging, man. She knows something's up. Jude's tone, edged with strain. The other voice, deep familiar now, replied, Then tell her, or I will. Isaac froze, heart hammering. He peered around crates. Jude facing the man from the bar, hands gesturing sharp. The stranger's face resolved, rugged, with a jaw like Jude's, but eyes darker, accusatory. Brother? No, the build was too similar, the stance mirrored. Jude's laugh barked, forced. You wouldn't. Try me. The man stepped closer, voice dropping. A year of this shit, Jude. Hiding him like a dirty secret. Dad's asking questions. Why no girl at the wedding next month? Isaac's breath caught. Wedding? Jude had mentioned a cousin's, not. Jude's back tensed. It's my life, Cal. Back off. Cal, Jude's older brother, the one from fishing stories, the Ribber. Isaac had met him once, at that engagement party. A quick handshake and wary glance. Now, Cal's hand clamped Jude's shoulder, not brotherly. Love's love, but family's family. Pick a side. Jude shrugged him off, storming back to the party. Isaac ducked into shadow, pulse roaring, slipping into the crowd before confrontation. When Jude found him minutes later, cheeks flushed, Isaac feigned ease. Everything good? Yeah, just family crap. Jude's kiss was urgent, overcompensating. They left early, the drive home silent save for wipers slapping rain. In bed, Jude's touches were fevered, but Isaac's mind spun. Wedding. Hiding. The words burrowed, sleep elusive. Morning brought avoidance, Jude up first, coffee brewing strong. Headed to site early. Love you. Peck, gone. Isaac texted Theo, coffee. Emergency. At Analog, steam rising from mugs, he unloaded. The hallway. The voices, the wedding bombshell. Theo's brow furrowed over his oat milk latte. Cousin's wedding? Or? Isaac's gut twisted. Didn't sound like it. Theo squeezed his hand. Talk to him. Assumptions are poison. But work swallowed the day. Isaac's studio in Soto, a sanctuary of screens and swatches. He lost himself in palettes. Deep indigos for the gallery show, but doubts colored everything. By evening, Jude's truck idled outside, headlights cutting fog. Dinner in. Jude called, arms laden with takeout bags. They ate on the couch, General Tso's chicken steaming, a rom-com flickering ignored. Isaac waited for an opening, but Jude filled silences with sight tales. A beam misaligned, a near miss with rebar. Finally, over fortune cookies, Isaac broached. Last night, heard you with Cal. Wedding? Jude's cracker snapped loud. Cousins. Why? The way he said it, like you were dodging. Jude set down his beer, eyes guarded. Cal's dramatic, always has been, protecting the family rep. Isaac leaned in, voice soft. From me. The room stilled. Jude's laugh was absent, replaced by a sigh. No. From questions. Dad's health scare last month. Prostate thing. He's clinging to traditions. I just don't want to rock the boat. Isaac nodded, but the half-truth lingered. Acrid. They made love that night. Tender but shadowed. Jude's whispers of I love you. A mantra against the tide. Days blurred into routine, but fissures widened. Jude's overtime stretched. Weekends claimed by family obligations. Isaac's gallery prep intensified. Mock-ups pinned like evidence. Theo hosted a game night, board games and IPAs to lift spirits, but Jude begged off, citing a bachelor party. Alone, Isaac wandered Broadway, window shopping at Elliott Bay, pulling a novel on queer history. The clerk, a silver-haired dyke with a button reading Ask Me About My Pronouns, rang him up. Rough week. Isaac shrugged. Love's a puzzle. She winked. Pieces fit or they don't. Trust your gut. Gut said talk. Saturday, Isaac drove north to the shoreline site, chain-link fence rattling in wind. Jude spotted him from scaffolding, descending in harness, dust-caked. Surprise visit? Lunch. My treat. They ate sandwiches on a half-framed balcony, city sprawling below. Isaac dove in. Cal's wedding, tell me straight. What's the real pressure? Jude chewed slow, gaze on horizon. It's his. But yeah, Dad's pushing me next. Find a nice girl, settle. I shut it down, but Cal, he's got his own guilt. Divorced last year, kid in the mix. Thinks I'm next if I go public. Isaac's fork paused. You regret it? Coming out. Jude's eyes snapped to his, fierce. Never. You? Best choice. He kissed Isaac's knuckles, rough with calluses. Promise. Relief washed, partial. They drove back tangled in plans. A getaway to the Olympics, cabins and campfires. but betrayal brewed quiet. Mid-November, Isaac's phone buzzed during a client call. Unknown number, voicemail. Hey, it's Cal. Need to talk about Jude. Meet tomorrow, 2 p.m., Alki Beach. Isaac's thumb hovered delete, but curiosity won. He slipped out post-meeting, ferry to West Seattle churning doubt. Alki's path was windswept, gulls wheeling over driftwood. Cal waited on a bench, flannel identical to Jude's, thermos steaming. Thanks for coming, Cal said, no preamble. Coffee? They walked, steam cups warming palms. Cal's voice was gravel. Jude's in deep shit. Dad's forcing a setup old family friend, Sarah. Double date at the wedding. He said yes to buy time. Isaac halted, wind whipping. He what? Cal's eyes, Jude's but harder, held no pity. To keep peace. Thinks he can dodge it. But Sarah's mom called me, excited. Jude's lying to everyone. Why tell me? Isaac's voice cracked, salt stinging. Because you're good for him. Straight up. He needs a kick. Cal clasped his shoulder, brotherly now. Don't let him drown in this. Isaac fled the beach, ferry rocking like his world. Home he paced, sketches torn in fury. Jude arrived late, reeking of lumber. Missed you. Isaac whirled. Double date? With Sarah. Jude blanched, cape metaphor crumbling. How? Cal. Your brother's a rat. But thanks. Words spilled, hurt, accusation, the lie's weight. Jude crumpled onto the couch, head in hands. It was stall tactic. Dad cornered me. I panicked. Panicked. Isaac's laugh was sharp, new weapon. After pride? After us? Jude looked up, eyes wet. I love you. But family. It's chains. The fight raged. Voices rising, doors slamming. Jude stormed out, truck roaring into night. Isaac collapsed, sobs racking, pendant clutched like talisman. Theo arrived at dawn, blanket and bourbon in tow. Cry it out, then plan. Days dissolved into fog. Isaac canceled the gallery, freelance drying up. Jude's texts pleaded, come home, please. But Isaac ghosted, crashing at Theo's, sketching ravens in flight, free but alone. Winter gripped Seattle, holidays a blur. Christmas Eve, Isaac wandered Pike Place, lights twinkling mocking. A street violinist played Carol of the Bells, notes piercing. His phone rang, Mom. Honey? Jude called, worried sick. Isaac's resolve cracked. He's the one who broke it. She sighed, spoken wisdom. Bridges burn easy. Rebuild or walk away. New Year's dawned. Resolutions hollow. Theo dragged him to a queer dance at Chop Suey, bodies pulsing under lasers. Isaac drank too much, danced reckless, until a text pierced. Alki. Now. J. The beach was desolate, waves crashing black. Jude waited by the lighthouse, bundled, face gaunt. I ended it. Told Dad everything. Sarah's out, family's fractured. Worth it for you. Isaac's heart warred, love, wariness. Prove it. Jude pulled an envelope from his coat. Letters handwritten. To them. And one for you. Inside, words poured. Apologies, vows. The laugh described as, my anchor in storms. They kissed under sodium lights, salt, and forgiveness. Spring thawed them slow, therapy joint now. Sessions in a Belltown office, unpacking closets and chains. Jude's dad softened gradual, a fishing trip mending lines. Cal apologized over beers. Meddling ass, but meant well. Summer bloomed, Olympics cabin a reality. Stars over trails, Jude's laugh echoing canyons. Isaac's show sold out, ravens flying free. But autumn whispered warnings, Halloween circling like fate. The warehouse loomed again, a year layered on memory's bones. Its brick facade etched with fresh graffiti under harvest moon. Isaac and Jude approached arm-in-linked, costumes swapped. Isaac in carpenter overalls, hammer prop slung. Jude a graphic which with ink-stained fingers and a pointed hat Theo dubbed fabulously extra. Laughter came easier now, forged in fire, but Isaac's gut twisted subtle, echoes of last year's fracture. Inside, the party thrummed evolved, craft cocktails and cauldrons. A queer burlesque troupe shimmying on stage. They dove in, bodies sinking to indie electronica, Jude's hand warm on Isaac's low back. "This time no ghosts," Jude murmured, nipping his neck. Isaac grinned, but scanned shadows, habit born of betrayal. Cal appeared early, beer in hand, apology grin wide. "Brought reinforcements, Sarah's cool, actually. Single now, bi as hell." He winked, diffusing old bombs. The night flowed sweet. Shots with Theo's crew. A conga line that dissolved into giggles. Jude pulled Isaac to the alcove, their first spot, cape discarded for a slow grind. "Love you here," he breathed, eyes gray and sure. But midnight told discord. Jude's phone buzzed insistent, vibrating against Isaac's thigh. He silenced it, but the third chime drew a curse. "Work?" "Nah, Dad." Jude stepped back, thumbing the screen. "Says urgent. Be right back." Isaac nodded, but followed minutes later, weaving through feather boas and fog. The loading dock outside hummed with smokers, Jude's voice cutting low near a dumpster. "Not now, Cal. I'm with Isaac." The reply crackled. "Speaker on accident?" "That's the problem. Dad's here crashing the party. Saw your truck. Wants to meet the witch properly." Isaac's blood iced. Jude's dad, stoic Everett fisherman, post-cancer gaunt but unbowed. They'd Skyped awkward, but face-to-face, uncharted. Jude groaned. "Shit. Stall him." Too late. Footsteps crunched gravel, a figure emerging tall, weathered in a flannel jacket, eyes like Jude's but steel hard. "Son." Jude straightened, mask of calm. "Dad. Didn't expect." Cal spilled. "Thought I'd see this for myself." The man's gaze slid to Isaac, emerging from shadow. Assessment, not warmth. "You must be him." Isaac extended a hand, voice steady. "Isaac. Good to meet you, sir." The grip was firm, calloused from rods and reels. "Tom. Heard a lot." Pause, waited. "Not all good, but progress." They stood awkward, rain misting, Jude bridging with chatter site updates. Isaac's art. Tom's laugh rumbled rare. Approving a sketch, Isaac pulled on his phone. "Got talent. Jude needs that grounding." Relief cracked tension, but Tom's eyes held depths. "Walk with me." Inside, the trio clustered at a high top, beers sweating. Tom shared stories. Jude as kid, reeling salmon till dawn, the cancer fight that stripped illusions. Makes you reprioritize. Family's not blood alone. His nod to Isaac sealed it, tentative alliance. The night peaked euphoric, dancing with Tom shuffling steps, Cal toasting to messy loves. But dawn crept, hangovers looming. Homeward, Jude's head lolled on Isaac's shoulder, truck humming. "That went. Okay? Better than." Isaac kissed his temple, but unease flickered. Tom's words too pat, Cal's glances too knowing. November settled, Thanksgiving a test. Tom's table in Everett. Turkey golden, yams candied, extended kin eyeing Isaac curious. Jude's mom, Ellen, fussed plates, her hug lingering. "Welcome, dear." Dad's toast skirted edges. To new traditions. Laughter flowed, real but undercurrents swirled. Cal pulled Jude aside post-pie, whispers heated. Isaac caught fragments. Insurance, dowry bullshit. Before Ellen drew him to kitchen, flour-dusted hands on his. "He's stubborn like his father. But you soften him." Gratitude swelled, but doubt nagged. Back in Seattle, freelance boomed. Isaac's Ravens licensed for teas, paychecks padding joint savings. Jude's high-rise topped out, ribbon cutting with handshakes and hard hats. They celebrated at Ray's Boathouse, Dungeness crab cracking under candlelight. "Future's bright," Jude toasted, eyes alight. But December chilled truths. Envelope arrived, Everett return, Tom's scrawl. Isaac opened, Jude away. Medical bills, stacked high, prostate follow-ups unpaid. Note, "Son, help if you can. Pride's fine, but bills bite." Jude's face crumpled reading it. Dad's pride won't take loans. Cal's tapped out. Isaac calculated quick. We got savings. Cover it. Jude's hug crushed. You're gold. Payments wired. Crisis averted. But ripples spread. Jude's overtime doubled. Nights alone for Isaac. Sketches turning solitary. New Year's. They rang in at home. Champagne and slow jazz. But Jude's phone lit constant. Cal's voicemails urgent. Brother drama. Jude dismissed. But lines etched deeper. January's ice locked the sound. Ferries canceled. Isaac's gallery rescheduled. Nerves jangling. Rehearsal night. Jude missed. Sight snag. Alone in the empty space. Spotlights harsh. Isaac paced canvases. Vulnerability exposed. Theo arrived post-show, hug fierce. Killed it. Where's your muse? Lost in beams. Isaac's laugh hollowed. February bloomed late. Valentine's snow-dusted. Jude planned grand. Reservations at Canlis. View of lights. But en route, call came. Emergency. Dad fell. Ice on dock. Hospital wait was sterile hell. Tom bandaged. Hip cracked. Slippery bastard. He grumbled. But eyes thanked Jude's vigil. Isaac fetched coffee. Overhearing nurses. Family stress? Bills piling again. Home late, Jude collapsed. He's stable. But costs. Isaac soothed. But seeds sprouted Jude's distance. Cal's shadow calls. March rains lashed. Isaac confronting over stir-fry. What's with Cal? Secrets again. Jude's fork clattered. He's borrowing for his kids' tuition. Dad co-signed. Now chasing me. Us. Isaac corrected. Jude's eyes shuddered. I handled it. Don't worry. But worry festered. April's sun teased. A weekend getaway planned. San Juan Islands, bikes and bistros. Ferry docked. Bikes unloaded. But Jude's phone rang. Cal. Go time. Meet at the house. Jude's face drained. Change plans. Family thing. Left on Orcas. Isaac biked solo, trails blurring tears. Texts. Where are you? No reply. Evening ferry back. Resolve hardened. Home Jude waited, envelope thick. Cal forged Dad's sig on a loan. For gambling. Banks calling. Isaac sank. How deep? 10 grand. More if sued. Silence deafened. We fight it, Isaac said. Jude's laugh cracked. Fight family? Cal's blood. Betrayal is betrayal. Words hung, Marcus's ghost rising. Jude paced. He's my brother. Redeemable. Like you were. Isaac's voice broke. Lies erode, Jude. The chasm yawned. Jude grabbed keys. Need air. Storm out, door slamming echo. Isaac curled fetal, sobs storming. Dawn brought Theo, packing boxes subtle. Protect your heart. Jude returned noon, eyes red. Cal confessed. Repaying slow. But you. Last night cut. Isaac stood firm. Trusts fractured. Again. Therapy called solo first. Couch confessions spilling. Fear of patterns. Love as cage. Jude joined reluctant, sessions raw. Jude admitting codependency. Cal's shadow since kids. May flowered fragile. Reconciliation tentative. Dates rekindled. Hands held tighter. Dad's hip healed. Fishing trips mending. Cal surfaced sheepish. Repayment plan sketched. But June's pride marched heavy. Rainbows faded for Isaac. Jude noticed, pulling him aside mid-parade. What's eating you? Us. Cycles. Truth spilled doubts, the endless pull of family over them. Jude's face crumpled. I'm trying. Try harder. Isaac walked away, float drums fading. July scorched rare. Olympics cabin canceled. Jude's crew retreat. Isaac solo hiked, peaks clarifying. Love shouldn't drain. August's gallery opening loomed. Invite to Jude tentative. He came suit crisp, pride shining. Stunning, he whispered, kiss lingering. Crowd buzzed, sales tallied. But after party at Theo's turned tense. Cal crashing, drunk apologies slurring. Fixed it, bro. All good. Jude's jaw clenched. Not here. Brawl brewed, words flying. Isaac intervened. Enough. Outside, Jude snapped. You don't get it, blood's thicker. Isaac's heart iced. Thicker than us? Silence damned. Jude drove off, taillights vanishing. September leaves fell early, Isaac subletting Theo's spare. Sketches poured, ravens fleeing storms. Jude's texts pleaded, voicemails breaking, don't end us. October circled, Halloween haunting. Invite arrived, warehouse, reunion bash. Isaac burned it, ashes in sink. But night called, pull magnetic. Dressed plain, no costume, he went, alone. Crowd swirled, laughs mocking. Then crimson flash, Jude, unmasked, eyes searching. They collided near bar, words tumbling. I can't lose you, Jude choked. Isaac's walls trembled. Then choose. Jude's hand cupped his face, thumb tracing lip. You, always. Kiss reignited, desperate. Home together, bodies reclaiming, promises whispered. Winter healed slow, therapy deepening, Cal sidelined. Spring's cherry blossoms witnessed vows. Ringless, but real. Yet autumn loomed, cycles whispering. November's chill seeped into bones. Seattle streets slick with fallen ginkgo. Gold coins trod under hurried boots. Isaac and Jude navigated the rebuild like tightrope walkers. Sessions twice weekly, evenings mapped with us time. Walks in Volunteer Park, where conservatory orchids bloomed defiant. Dinners cooked tandem, Jude chopping onions while Isaac stirred sauces, laughter reclaiming kitchen space. The apartment felt reclaimed too, tools organized, sketches framed anew. Tom's recovery steadied, weekly calls evolving from gruff check-ins to shared recipes. His clam chowder rivaling Pike places. Cal hovered peripheral, repayments trickling, his texts to Jude sparse. Working it. Sorry. Isaac urged boundaries. Protect the peace. And Jude nodded, but old habits tugged. Thanksgiving tested anew. Tom's table expanded. Ellen adding a chair for Isaac, permanent. Turkey carved, stories spun. Jude's boyhood pranks. Isaac spoke in winters sledding apple crates. Tom's toast rang true. To chosen kin, laughter swelled genuine. Pie slices heaped with forgiveness. December dusted joy, holiday market at Fremont. Mulled wine warming palms as they haggled ornaments. Jude's raven pendant matched now on Isaac's chain. New Year's, rooftop again, but intimate. Just them. Champagne popped under stars. Resolutions whispered, grow together. January thawed secrets. Jude's therapist unearthed roots. Dad's stoicism masking his own unspoken griefs. Cal's gambling an echo of lost youth. Isaac listened evenings, Jude's head in lap, fingers combing hair. You're my safe harbor, Jude murmured, vulnerability a gift. But February's Valentine's veiled thorns. A card from Sarah. Innocent. Group invite to a queer film fest. But Jude's flinch revived ghosts. Burn it, Isaac teased, but tension lingered. They attended anyway, hands clasped in dark. Brokeback's ache mirroring but not defining. March rains nourished, Isaac's commissions flooding. Book covers for indie presses. Queer narratives inked vibrant. Jude's crew shifted to interiors, dust yielding to polish. Weekends, they escaped to Bainbridge, ferry decks wind-whipped, bikes exploring lavender farms. Jude's laugh echoed fields, free. April bloomed, crisis subtle. Tom's call midweek, check-up clear, but Ellen's tired. Tests pending. Jude's face drained, drive to Everett a blur. Hospital weight redux, but softer. Ellen's breast scan benign. Relief a sob shared. Scared me straight, Tom admitted, arm around Jude. Cherish it all. Home, Jude clung nights, love-making fervent, as if etching permanence. Isaac held him through dreams, whispers soothing, we're solid. May's sun coaxed outings, picnics at Golden Gardens, kites dancing sky. But Cal resurfaced, lunch invite accepted wary. At a shoreline diner, booth sticky, Cal slid papers. Payoff plan finalized. Clean slate. His eyes pleaded. Jude hugged tight. Yeah, but distance, man. Isaac watched, pride swelling, growth tangible. June's pride exploded color. The marching central. Banners bold. Tom's surprise appearance. Sign reading proud dad, drew cheers. Jude's tears salt-kissed. After party at the apartment. Kin mingled. Theo DJing. Ellen dancing awkward with Cal. Dawn found Isaac and Jude tangled on balcony. City humming below. This is family, Isaac breathed. July scorched memories. Olympics cabin at last. Pines whispering secrets. Trails hiked hand in hand. Campfires crackling stories. Jude's closet confessions. Isaac's Marcus scars. Lake swims naked. Bodies buoyant. Love unarmored. Forever starts here, Jude vowed. Pebbles skipped across water. August's heat wave baked doubts dormant. Gallery sequel booked. Isaac's Ravens soaring sails. Jude proposed collab construction sketches for his site's art meeting architecture. Mock-ups pinned. Excitement electric. September's equinox balanced. Harvest fairs calling. Pumpkin patch in Kent. Hayrides bumping. Jude's arm anchor as they carved jack-o'-lanterns. Grinning ravens. But evening. Phone buzzed. Cal. Slurred. Trouble. Bar fight. Bail. Jude's jaw set. No. Call a cab. Isaac nodded approval, but Seed itched. Relapse? October crept. Halloween's pull magnetic. Warehouse invite framed on fridge. Anniversary bash. Costumes plotted. Matching skeletons. Bones painted playful. But week's end shattered. Jude home late. Eyes hollow. Cal's arrested. Embezzlement from crew funds. Tied to gambling. Isaac's stomach dropped. How much? $20K. Sites stalled. My job online. Fury mixed grief. He used you. Jude sank, head bowed. Co-signed again. Thought he changed. Storm brewed, accusations flying. Patterns, Jude. When's enough? Jude's voice broke. He's drowning. I can't abandon. You abandon us. Isaac roared, rare rage. Door slammed, Jude fleeing to couch. Dawn, coffee cold. Amends faltered. Help him legal, Isaac conceded. But boundaries iron. Lawyer consulted. Pleas entered. Cal's court date loomed. Family fracturing. Tom raged. Ellen wept. Jude mediated torn. November's chill deepened rifts. Thanksgiving skipped. Everett tense. Plates untouched. Isaac cooked solo. Theo's table surrogate. Turkey dry. Laughs forced. Holidays suck. Theo toasted. But eyes worried. December isolated. Market skipped. Tree untrimmed. Jude's overtime desperate. Funds bleeding. Isaac's freelance sustained. But resentment simmered. Nights alone. Bed cold. New Year's solitary. Isaac at a bar. Countdown blurring tears. Jude texted midnight. Sorry. Love you. January's gray ground them. Therapy fractured. Jude missing sessions. Work. Isaac solo vented. Enabling erodes us. February's frost bit. Valentine's cancelled. Jude at Cal's arraignment. Verdict. Probation. Restitution. Relief partial, but Jude's exhaustion chronic. Dark circles, laugh muted. March's melt brought confrontation. Over cold tacos, Isaac laid bare. Choose path, not people. Or lose me. Jude's eyes stormed. Trying. But blood. Love's blood too. Isaac walked out. Theo's couch waiting. April's showers washed clean. Jude's calls daily. Voicemails raw. Empty without you. Isaac resisted. Hike solo, sketches cathartic. Ravens chained. Then freed. May's blooms mocked. Gallery loomed. Invite withheld. Opening night. Crowd swelled. Sales soared, but hollow. Jude appeared late. Suit rumpled. Flowers wilting. Proud. Always. Kiss backstage. Tentative. Move back. Slow. Isaac cautioned. June's pride passed distant. Isaac marching with Theo. Rainbow solo. Jude watched from sidelines. Sign. Your raven waits. Heart tugged. But walls held. July's heat tested. Cal's restitution lagged. Site layoffs loomed. Jude crashed Isaac's. Unannounced. Duffel packed. Fight with me. Please. Nights blurred. Bodies seeking solace. Words weaving fragile. Olympics echoed. But cabin skipped. Funds tight. August's sun-scorched truths. Tom's heart scare. Mild attack. Stents placed. Hospital vigil united. Cal absent. Shame chaining. Ellen's hand in Isaac's. He needs you both. September's leaves warned. Halloween whispered. Warehouse a specter. October's eve decision crystallized. Invite burned again, but Jude pleaded. Face it together. End cycles. Isaac relented, costumes simple, everyday selves, masks shed. Warehouse pulsed, ghosts friendly. Dances synced, laughs pure. But Cal cornered Jude. Whispers urgent. One last loan. Jude's no thundered. Done. Heal yourself. Isaac's pride swelled. Kiss ceiling. Winter warmed gradual. Restitution flowing. Tom's health steady. Spring's vows renewed. Therapy tripled. Boundaries etched. But autumn's circle closed. Lessons etched deep. November's veil thinned illusions. Seattle's fog a metaphor for the haze settling over Isaac and Jude's fragile rebuild. The apartment, once a sanctuary, now hummed with cautious energy. Jude's tools stowed in closets. Isaac's sketch wall expanded with collaborative pieces. Blueprints inked with ravens, structures winged. Therapy became ritual. Tuesdays at dusk. The Belltown office a confessional where Jude unpacked Cal's hold like old wiring, faulty and live. Tom's recovery steadied into routine. Fishing derbies with Jude. Ellen's knitting circle welcoming Isaac with scarves mismatched. Cal's shadow receded. Court-mandated groups channeling his chaos. Repayments clockwork. Thanksgiving redeemed. Tom's table groaning. Kin expanded. Toasts to second chances clinking glasses. Jude's laugh rang full, pulling Isaac under like tide. December dusted magic tentative. Fremont Market revisited. Stalls aglow. Jude haggling a jade carving to match pendants. Tree trimmed tandem, ornament stories. A glittered hammer for Jude's sights. Raven feather for Isaac's flight. New Year's intimate. Balcony confetti tossed. Resolutions etched. Boundaries as bricks. January's bite sharpened edges. Jude's crew rebounded. High-rise leased. Bonuses padding. But a letter arrived, Cal's. Handwritten. Grateful. Changing for Real. Invite to dinner? Jude's hesitation mirrored in Isaac's nod. Test waters. Dinner at a Linwood chain. Booth's vinyl. Cal sober-suited. Wife tentative beside. Stories shared, his sponsor tales, kids' soccer wins. Laughter bridged. But Isaac's eyes watched Jude's ease. Old pull dormant? February's pulse quickened. Valentine's reclaimed. Canless redux. Crab succulent. View twinkling. Jude's gift. A custom hammer etched build us drew tears. Film fest followed. Hands laced through moonlight rewatch. Aches owned. March's thaw greened hopes. Isaac's book covers launched. Signings at Elliott Bay buzzing. Jude attended. Arm proud. My artist's muse. Hikes resumed. Discovery Park trails muddied but sure-footed. April's showers birthed blooms. Ellen's garden party. Seedlings potted. Kin mingling. Tom pulled Isaac aside. Pipe tobacco scent. You saved him. From himself. Weight lifted. Paternal. But May's warmth unearthed. Cal's call mid-hike. Relapse scare. Need talk. Jude detoured. Leaving Isaac summiting solo. Evening confession. He slipped. One bet. Caught it. Isaac's gut nodded. And cut off. For good. Jude's eyes pled trust. Held but monitored. June's pride crested triumphant. Tom marching again. Banner bolder. After party swelled. Cal absent. Choice affirmed. July's zenith burned bright. Olympics cabin doubled. Friends invited. Theo's crew kayaking. Campfire's queer anthems. Jude's proposal whispered lakeside. Marry me? Someday. Isaac's yes drowned in kiss. Future sketched. August's lull tested. Gallery third soldier on ravens evolved chained no more. Jude's collab debuted. Sights art infused. Clients raving. September's harvest hinted harvest. Pumpkin patches laughed. Jack-o'-lanterns duo carved. Intertwined skeletons. Bones eternal. October's breath held. Halloween's warehouse loomed final. Legacy night. Costumes shed, plain tees, selves unmasked. Party pulsed closure, dances cathartic. But climax crashed. Midnight, Tom appeared, Ellen arm-linked, faces grave. Need Jude. Now. Alcove private, words tumbled. Cal's overdose, pills washed with whiskey. Hospital critical, note pinned. Sorry for chains. Jude shattered, knees buckling. Isaac steadied. Tom's grip iron. Family's curse. Drive to Harborview blurred. ER fluorescence harsh. Cal tubed. Monitors beeping, wife weeping. Jude's vigil started. Isaac anchoring, coffee runs. Hand squeezes. Dawn broke. Cal stabilized. Detox inbound. Jude's face hollowed. My fault. No, Isaac fierce. His choices. November's grief cloaked. Cal's rehab distant. Family splintered. Thanksgiving muted, takeout, toasts to healing. Jude withdrew, laugh sparse, nights pacing. December isolated, market skipped, tree bare. Isaac's nudges gentle. Therapy. Now. Sessions doubled. Jude unraveling. Guilt as inheritance, love as lifeline. January's resolve hardened. Cal's letters filtered, progress reports, amends raw. Jude read aloud, tears salting. February's light pierced. Valentine's simple, home dinner, Jude's laugh tentative return. March's renewal sprouted. Hike first since, trails affirming. April's rains cleansed. Ellen's call, Cal's home. Visit. Tentative yes. Rehab center stark. Cal gaunt but eyes clear. Ruined much. Fixing. Hug fractured but real. May's sun coaxed. Pride marched mournful but forward. Banners heal together. June's solstice warmed. Cabin solo, Jude and Isaac only. Lakes mirroring men's. July's heat forged. Gallery peaked. Collab expanded. August's ease settled. Cal's job secured. Repayments resumed. September's balance held. Pumpkins carved hopeful, ravens rising. October's full circle. Warehouse skipped, home party intimate, Theo, Tom, Ellen, even Cal tentative. Laughter bloomed. Masks metaphors shed. But crisis crested quiet. Jude's confession post-party. Dad's cancer back. Stage 3. Isaac's world tilted, hand finding Jude's. Together. November's fight began. Chemo schedules. Support groups. Thanksgiving defiant. Tom's table resilient. December's lights twinkled hope. Market arm in arm. Tree-laden stories. January's battle raged, but bonds tightened. February's vows deepened, no rings, but promises etched. March's uncertainty loomed, but love anchored. April's blooms defiant. Ellen's garden therapy. May's strides. Tom responding, scans promising. June's pride victorious. Family united. July's cabin sanctuary. Whispers eternal. August's normalcy crept. Gallery thriving. September's harvest grateful. October's Halloween homebound. Pumpkins glowing. Laughs echoing. Yet climax brewed. Tom's decline swift. Hospice whispers. November's vigil heart-wrench. Cal returned. Prodigal, hands steadying Jude's. Thanksgiving bedside. Stories shared. Tom's laugh weak but true. Proud. All of you. December's eve. Tom slipped quiet. Stars witnessing. Grief tsunami, Jude adrift. Isaac lighthouse. January's raw edge. Funeral Everett. Eulogies honest. Tom's flaws. Loves. February's frost numb. Therapy lifeline. March's thaw slow. Jude sketches. First. Boats on sound. Dad inspired. April's rains mournful, but gardens grew. May's sun tentative. Cal's support steadfast. June's pride marched memory. Banner for Tom. July's cabin healing. Ashes scattered lake. August's rebuild. Collab renamed harbor wings. September's balance restored. October's circle closed. Warehouse ghosts at peace. November's pall lingered like smoke after fire. Seattle's graze deeper in mourning. The city's pulse a somber drum against Isaac and Jude's fractured rhythm. Tom's absence carved hollows. Jude's truck idling longer at Everett docks. Fishing rods untouched. Isaac sketches veering abstract, lines jagged as grief's edge. The apartment, once vibrant, echoed silences broken by Jude's midnight pacing. Ellen's calls a lifeline laced with Ellen's own quiet tears. Therapy shifted sands. Group now, widowers and partners circling loss. Jude's voice cracking first shares. He taught me build, but breaking. That's the lesson. Isaac held space, hand under table steady, his own eulogy words replaying. Tom was steel wrapped in flannel, bending for love. Cal anchored unexpected, rehab forged. He drove Jude to appointments, his once wayward hands now gripping will firm. Dad'd want this, he'd say, voice gravel soft. Family dinners resumed sparse, Ellen's kitchen a hearth. Pot roasts over stories, Tom's recipes recited like prayers. December crept cloaked in ritual. Holiday market skipped, but tree rose defiant. Ornaments Tom's. A hand-whittled star at top, Jude's fingers lingering. Lights strung, Jude's laugh ghosting faint as they hung Jude's childhood lures. Hooks blunted. New Year's whispered. Balcony empty save them. Champagne flat. To harbors, Jude toasted, pendant glinting. January's New Year birthed resolve raw. Jude's crew paused sabbatical, framing yielding to counseling certs. Build minds now, he declared, eyes stealing. Isaac supported, freelance flexible, mornings coffee brewed for Jude's study marathons. But crisis crested internal. February's Valentine's, Ellen hosted, candlelit, her pie Tom's recipe. Laughter tentative but Cal's toast pierced. To Dad's unfinished boats, we sail on. Jude bolted mid-meal, bathroom wretch echoing. Isaac followed, door soft. Let it out. Jude slumped, sobs wrenching. Miss him. Hate him leaving. Isaac knelt, embrace fierce. He didn't. Echoes everywhere. Marches melt mirrored mending, hikes short, Discovery Park benches confessions. Jude's certs loomed exam, nights flashcards and fears. What if I fail? Like Cal almost. You won't, Isaac vowed. Quizzes quizzing till dawn. April's showers baptized. Exam passed. Jude's whoop echoing halls. First client a troubled teen. Mirrors of youth. Full circle. He breathed, home hug crushing. Ellen's garden therapy deepened. Hands in soil. Seedlings Tom's favorites. Tomatoes, stubborn. Cal joined, dirt-caked, stories unearthed. Boyhood races, Tom's rare hugs after wins. May's sun coaxed Cal's milestone. 6 months clean, barbecue backyard. Kin gathered, burgers charred. Jude's speech simple. Redemption's daily, proud. June's pride swelled cathartic. March dedicated. Banner Tom's legacy. Love unchained. Ellen carried. Tears rainbow-streaked, Cal beside. After-party swelled, dances honoring. July's zenith healed. Cabin pilgrimage, Ashes Lake serene, kayaks gliding tandem. Jude's proposal renewed. Ring soon? Vows now. Isaac's yes rippled water. August's lull bloomed business. Isaac's gallery permanent. Harbor Wings commissioned citywide. Jude's practice grew. Teens sketching traumas. Art therapy fused. September's harvest gratitude. Pumpkin patch ritual. Jack-o'-lanterns Tom's grin. Wide. Unmasked. October's breath steadied. Halloween home. No warehouse. Lanterns lit. Friends circling. Theo's tricks. Cal's treats. Ellen's tales. Laughter full, cycles shattered. But climax crested emotional, not storm. Jude's gift unwrapped slow. Cedar box. Tom's tools inside. Hammer. Chisel. Note yellowed. Build true, son. Love hardest. Jude's voice trembled reading aloud. Room hushed. He knew. Always. Isaac rose, pulling him close. We have. Winter wrapped gentle. December's market arm in all, lights brighter. Tree-top star. New Year's countdown kin-filled. January's promise. Rings shopped. Simple bands engraved anchor and wing. February's vows exchanged courthouse quiet. Ellen witness. Cal best. Vows raw. Through chains and flights, I choose you. March's spring eternal. Hikes endless. April's gardens overflowed. May's sun's sovereign. June's pride's perpetual. July's lakes laughed. August's arts ascended. September's harvests hallowed. October's circles complete. No masks, only eyes that laugh eternal. Grief wove tapestry now, not tear. Tom's lessons lived. Build, bend, break open. Betrayal's scars faded, healed by choice. Family chosen, love labored. Isaac and Jude, ravens risen. Soared Seattle skies, storms past. Horizons human. Flawed, fierce, forever. In the quiet of their life, rebuilt from ruins, they found the deepest truth. Love wasn't absence of pain, but presence through it. Laughs reclaimed, eyes locked, kisses unmasked.